introduce ourselves?
Yeah, when I say I'm here with, and then
Oh, what should I play?
All right, guys. Hey, how's it going? Welcome to the Weird Kids Podcast, episode 10 of season 2. It's July 3rd, 2017. Oh, shit. 1 second.
Uh,
Turn it
well,
down.
and that's the end of that episode.
No.
Okay,
All right, let's
thanks
do
for coming
it
back.
to the top. All right.
Come
From
back
the
next week.
from the top. All right. Hey guys, welcome to the Weird Kids Podcast, episode 10 of season 2. It is July 3rd, 2017, the year of our Lord, and a lot has happened over the last week. So let's talk about some of the most important things, which isn't necessarily E3 off the bat.
Hashtag not my lord.
Hashtag Lord, what?
With us today, we got me, Scott. We got
I'm Phil. Good old me.
That is indeed Phil. I'm Jordan.
And I'm Cybers.
Evan is currently in the bowels of the beast, wrestling his internet
Oh
connection.
my god.
He's in the abyss.
So
fighting.
graphic.
So let's get right to it. All right.
Let's get right into the news.
Let's
So-
get it right.
Game. So there's something. If you hadn't figured out, this happened. Maybe this GameStop had a breach of security information.
They did.
Last year was it?
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I thought it was,
No,
Last-
last
I thought it was-
month.
Last month they had breached.
Well, okay, the breach was in August of 2016. So yeah, last year. And they came out to, actual people in charge of security on June 9th or 10th that week, 2017. So it's been almost a year since they freaking had the gall to admit that their credit card information from their customers was completely compromised. As someone who is an avid not attendee of GameStop, Fernando would know a lot more about this than I do, but
I mean, I never like. I think the way this happened is if you had your maybe someone can correct me if I'm wrong. If you had your credit card information stored on their website, or maybe if you've ever used a credit card, I'm not sure. But
no, they did specify it was the website, so
Yeah.
so if you had your credit card stored on their server,
yeah.
then this, my friends, is why you never. I'm sorry, Jordan.
No, it's fine. It's like if you ever if for
Like-
some ungodly reason you wanted to buy the 27th port of Skyrim, if you did it
That's
in
me.
person at a GameStop, you don't have to worry if you handed the guy your card because that's not going to be compromised. It was all online, similar to that huge Sony hack that I'm sure some viewers might remember. That was about 2014, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
2014 is when it happened.
That was golden
That was-
history.
Yep.
But anyway,
This is why there's a good rule that I think everybody should follow. And when a website asks you, would you like to save your credit card information for an easier purchase next time, never click it because there's a good chance that site will one day get hacked.
Do you know the
And-
number of how many people were, how many numbers, like how many people were actually breached, Jordan, off the top of your head?
I don't, but I could extrapolate it.
Yeah.
It's all the customers who used the website from August 2016 to February 2017.
Around the
So
time
that's-
that the Switch was announced.
Well, yeah, when you put
Right?
it that way, it's even yeah. So if you project however many people use the site every year, and then half that because it's half a year's worth of customers, that's about how many people's data leaked. It's
Not
I
a good
would-
situation, guys.
I
Not
would guess it's in
really.
the millions.
I would highly suggest figuring out if you had made purchases on GameStop's website at the time, and look into that because one of the guys that was supposed to be here, Evan, he actually had a problem with it, and he
Yeah.
got it figured out. Thank God. I wish he was here. He would tell you all about it, but
Some pretty rough chargeback
It-
issues.
it's one of those things that where you think that it won't happen to you, it does. it's more likely than you would expect.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just be careful when you're buying stuff online, guys. Please, for the love of God.
Yeah, and I hate that this has to turn into a PSA. No offense, Scott, but like,
Yeah.
I just have to laugh when this kind of thing happens. Sony, I've never had much love for them, but I've had some respect for them. When Lulsec did their thing in 2014, like I said, it was golden internet history.
Yeah.
It just these
Sorry.
guys were really in 2014. They were really dedicated, relatively organized as a group of hackers can be.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm surprised they didn't, like, Sony didn't get it figured out quicker because they were
Yeah.
PSN was offline for, like, was it a month and a half? I want
It
to
was-
say
It was some ridiculous.
it was way longer than it needed to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. But when you factor in GameStop, this is a company that for the past week has been practically ready to give away money to their customers.
Oh, that's a great segue.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh,
I
boy.
want to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's just. What did you have to say, Scott?
No, I was gonna say. I was gonna make a Godfather joke because of was essentially what's going on, but you go on. Sorry.
All right. So pretty much what happened. GameStop has two promotions: buy two used, get one free on a used product, and then they also have, if you trade in 6 games, you get 70% bonus trading credit if you're a pro
60.
member. Well, 70 if you're a pro, 60
Oh.
if you're not a pro member. So today, yesterday, someone on the Xbox Reddit decided.
The Xbox One subreddit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Xbox One subreddit, and you can look at it there for more
Yep.
detail. I won't go into specifics, but long story short, if you go to Walmart and you buy specific games, 6 of them, then you take those 6 games and you trade them in at GameStop, you make a profit right off the bat. The cost of those 6 games about around a little under $900, but when you trade,
$900.
I'm sorry, 100.
Yes.
But when you trade them in at GameStop with the promos going on, you get about $180. But then, with that $180 credit, you go ahead and purchase 6 used games, all of them Nintendo games, because Nintendo's trade-in value is really high.
Incredibly
Mind you,
high.
2 of those 6 games are going to be free because of the buy 2 get 1 free. Then you use those 6 Nintendo games and you trade those in. And if you do that, if you trade those games in and then rebuy those same games you traded in, mind you, the same Nintendo games, and you keep doing that, and you go to like 4 different GameStops, you went from spending $90 at Walmart to having about $400 to $480 in trading credit at GameStop.
Key point there is go to different GameStops.
Yes, and there's already. If you want more information, it's still up, and this will only be valid for tomorrow.
Till tomorrow.
Because tomorrow one of their promotions end, and the next week the other ends, and there's been a lot of reports that some GameStops are not allowing this, that they're apparently banning people from ever trading in again.
I don't
Let's
think
use-
that's true,
That's
guys.
some bullshit.
That is
I-
bullshit. There's no way they'd do that. You're literally you're in your right
I mean,
to do this.
no, it's the right of GameStop to ban their employees. I mean, not their employees. Their
I mean that
customers.
too.
I mean they're going out of business.
That's their prerogative, is to ban their employees. But it's their right to ban customers for any reason or no reason at all.
Again,
But it's worth stressing that absolutely none of this is illegal or illicit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, but just as a fair warning, you're going to do this, be smart, go to different GameStops,
Yeah.
and make sure that the GameStop doesn't know about it, because some do, and they are not taking in these trade-ins. Mind you, also, GameStop has the right to stop this promotion at any point. So by the time we're done with this podcast, GameStop might be like, fuck it, we're not doing that promo anymore. So just a word of caution. But if you can pull this off, you're about to make a lot of money.
If you do pull it off, please fucking let us know. Like
Yeah,
I would
please
fucking
do.
love to hear about the amount of money you've made through this hustle.
Yeah.
I got out of work today and I heard about this from a friend at work. So I actually tried pulling this off. I went to Best Buy. They had like 2 or 3 of the 6 games. Then I went to Walmart and they had that same 2. And the biggest problem with this this little I guess scheme, or not even scheme, more idea that you may want to try and do, is that the games are hard to get to begin with. Like there's specific games you have to buy, and those games are actually hard to get. Like Need for Speed, believe it or not, that's a hard game to get at a Walmart or like even a Best Buy. So, and there's other games you could buy too, but then the profits reduce. So you want to,
If you
on
have
the website.
If you have other game stores by you, like I know that there's I think Disc Replay.
Oh, Disc Replay.
Yeah, if you can
Mother
find it there,
Christ.
it'd probably be even cheaper. So you're essentially just making even more money.
Yeah, and again, there's a nice table laid out on Reddit that goes over every game at where to get them, because you shouldn't. There's specific retailers you need to get these games from, and at the profit that you'll make if you trade these games in. So definitely go for it. Apparently GameStop knows about it too, because someone posted on their Facebook, and GameStop replied, "Enjoy the deals." So the corporate apparently knows about it. So if corporate knows, then fuck it, go for it.
Yeah, all bets are off.
Enjoy
I
the
mean,
deals.
I mean, I'm gonna.
$100 front-end investment for what amounts to several $100s worth of games.
And I think
I don't know.
I was gonna say, and I think me and Jordan are gonna try this out tomorrow.
I would.
Listen. Not to give out too much personal information, but if this works, it's gonna be one hilarious heist.
It's well, stay tuned, guys. I'll try to.
Meme Mafia does GameStop heist coming live.
I was about to say Payday 3 GameStop edition.
I'm gonna try to make a video of this tomorrow. So
Yeah,
let's see.
If you guys do it, make a video.
Like a vlog, yeah, I guess.
I'll make a vlog on my phone, and we'll see what happens. Stay tuned.
Oh my God!
Oh,
Fucking
man. Oh man.
yeah. So if that does happen,
Congratulations, GameStop. You played yourself.
Oh, here, but and you know what? I think GameStop is just putting themselves in a prime situation.
you're
Oh my.
fucking.
No. Don't even
Bad.
segue into it. Don't even do it.
So
I
So
got a good
Sony's
segue.
E3.
What?
So Sony's E3.
Well, Scott has the list, so.
I mean,
No. Don't.
What was next on the list?
Tease him.
we're going to E3. Is what we're doing. We're in the car right now. We're going to E3. I'm on the E3 page right now. We made it, boys. All right. So first off, so E3 happened. What are the major takeaways from this?
Xbox and Sony fucking sucked this year.
Well,
that too.
no, I think they did fine, but Nintendo actually slapped all the competition with the shit that they were dropping. That's the
Nintendo
thing.
whipped their cyber dicks
wiped
out
the
on the
floor.
table and like measure up, boys.
Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for Shadow of the Colossus remake, and I'm kind of interested in Evil Within 2. That looks kind of cool. Although I haven't played the first one.
Oh, I'm excited. That reminds me, Wolfenstein, the new one.
That looks fucking fun as shit. Like,
It does. It does.
if you guys haven't seen the trailer, you gotta check that out.
I think, me personally, I actually think E3 as a whole wasn't really that good this year. I feel like for the most part, everyone was talking about stuff we already knew. And you know, there were some cool announcements, but most of those announcements were either the developer just saying, "Hey, we're making something," or B, a logo. So it's kind of like, you know, and Sony, all they're doing is just recapping what they said last year, but now showing gameplay of it. So I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
This year wasn't. In the years that I've been following E3, this year was definitely on the lower end. The only thing that got me really excited was Xbox finally talked about their new Scorpio system. They finally showed it off.
That's
Kind of cool. But then Metroid 4 that came out.
All right, can I say something? Can I first say something really quick? Everybody's saying like, "Oh, it's the most advanced console." That shit is fucking weak.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it
it's
is the most powerful
it's-
console, but that's like saying I can't make a
comparing it to whatever PC Master Race over here. But I mean, you're not. if you came here with your console under your arm and saying, "Yeah, I enjoy console," that's fine. But just know here in this Discord, it's PC Master Race.
I
But
like consoles.
they're fine.
I like my Xbox and my PlayStation, but I mean, like I
have a
said,
PS3.
like I said, PlayStation talked about games that aren't even coming out this year, so I don't care. Xbox talked about Forza Gears, and that's it. Or
You know,
Halo again.
they're-
Well,
they're-
they actually didn't, but you know what I mean.
They talked about Anthem, which is gonna flop for the same reasons Destiny did, and
I-
because it's BioWare.
Disagree.
Oh,
I
yeah,
disagree.
It's BioWare. Oh,
No, I'll disagree, and I'll tell you why. I think Anthem's actually gonna has a good shot because it's BioWare Edmonton, the same people who made the Mass Effect trilogy, Andromeda. So I have a
you see,
good feeling.
people, my opinion, people are gonna have a sour taste in their mouth from Andromeda because that hot piece of fucking garbage.
No, you're right. You're right. So we'll see. Hopefully they can, space themselves away from that game.
Yeah.
But we'll all have to wait and see.
some
You
much
think you're
needed
fucking
distance.
funny, don't you?
Oh, space.
Wait, what? What
That-
about space?
You're not.
No.
But
Wait, I
continue.
wasn't even
But
trying.
continue. But continue.
I mean,
no, he doesn't have anything more to say about that.
I was gonna just say, in terms of the third parties, EA. I mean, it's EA.
Fucking
It's
do
not.
Battlefront right, god damn
I
it.
mean, it's nothing special.
To be honest,
Oh.
I'm looking at Battlefront 2. It's doesn't look any different from Battlefield 1, except for the fact that you're in like new locations.
I want big boy battles.
It's
I mean,
listen. Essentially, what it is it's like it was in Battlefield 1. It's Battlefield 1. It is Battlefield 1. It's Battlefield in space, and I've said this before, but now it's just it's going to be a larger version of Battlefield.
when I played
Battlefront.
when I played Battlefield, I actually like Battlefield a lot. I actually get the feeling, hey, there's a bunch of people doing some stupid shit. When I played Battlefront, I felt like, oh, it's like 8 dudes fighting each other.
Yeah. I think as long as the comparisons are there, Battlefront's already shot itself in the foot.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
mean,
Battlefront 2, the 2005 release, that has so much nostalgia behind it, and I think it's a little bit counterintuitive, but I think it's actually going to hurt them this time around
Really?
because of the expectations.
I
that you have
mean,
to live up to.
Mm-hmm.
I will give you.
I just got done playing Battlefront 2, like the good one.
The entire thing. Oh, okay. Yeah, the 2005 one.
Yeah, the good one.
Okay,
And
I get it.
I mean, sorry.
okay. And you know how in Battlefront 1 was actually hot garbage. And Battlefront 1 made by DICE is also hot garbage. Maybe there's some fucking hope.
Is that sounds like numerology to me.
We have.
Like, I
Yeah.
mean, the second ones are just gonna be good just because
mean-
they're the second
mean,
ones.
I mean, there's the sophomore slump mentality, but usually, like with video games, but you usually don't find that sophomore slump with video games usually.
Oh yeah, fucking Mario. They're the two new Mario games, the Odyssey and Rabbids.
Rabbits.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Ubisoft.
All
I don't know.
right. So
It's worth talking. Like
Don't even.
What'd you say,
I'm not
Jordan?
even-
we don't have the loosest of schedules. I don't know how much time we want to devote to Mario versus Rabbids. No, come on. I'm being serious.
It
He
doesn't.
said,
It doesn't warrant a conversation because this is a fucking abomination to humanity.
all right.
Okay, great. Moving right
Yeah,
along then.
move.
Odyssey
Jordan,
looked
okay.
spectacular.
I don't know if anyone caught it. Jordan said we. So like, I don't
Just
know.
shut the fuck up. We're moving on.
Just saying.
Shut up.
It's an abomination to humanity.
All right.
End of story.
So
Oh no, it's
Mario
okay.
Odyssey.
No, what?
So what?
It's
So all right.
not.
Hold on. So what were your favorite things that you saw at E3? If you could list them in order, three. If you could pick three, your top favorites.
All right,
Okay.
me.
Yes.
Go first.
Go first, Phil.
Sure.
The JPEG.
All right. Metroid Prime 4.
Wolfenstein,
Oh.
the new game,
Okay.
and probably Odyssey. No, wait, no, take that back. Metroid 2 remake.
All right, fair enough. Jordan.
Ooh.
I'd like to hand this one over to Fernando.
All right.
Actually,
Fernando.
Mario Odyssey, because it's touched my childhood right there. 64, and the announcement of Pokemon on the Switch,
Yeah.
like a core RPG Pokemon, like Gen 8 for the most part.
Watch it be Mystery Dungeon.
Continue.
I mean, they pretty much had to say that ever since the debacle with Ultra Sun and Moon. But whatever.
I would love nothing more than a mystery dungeon game.
I do extremely love Mystery Dungeon.
I've been meaning to get Super Mystery Dungeon.
It's a great. I would highly recommend it.
And I guess that Metroid Prime 4, because Nintendo recognizes that, oh wait, Metroid's a series we own. So let's announce that and a Metroid on 3DS.
Haven't announced a new F-Zero game.
Well, baby steps, Phil. Baby steps. We'll get there.
Too hopeful.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, definitely top of the docket has to be Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
Just anything that can compare to Mario Sunshine modernized. I saw that trailer with a dinosaur, and I was wondering, is this the right game? And the fact that I know that's what they were going for,
Yeah.
that they wanted us to ask that question,
Is this Mario?
it transitioned seamlessly right
I
into...
thought it was Monster Hunter too.
I thought the
exactly.
same thing.
I'm like, Monster Hunter? And then I saw that. I'm like, oh.
Oh.
Monster Hunter gets honorable mention.
Yeah.
But that's definitely
doesn't.
not...
No, it doesn't.
Continue.
There's different. Yeah.
Continue.
So, honestly, like, my other favorite thing is not something I'm looking forward to, but just kind of being able to laugh at the Scorpio costing $500. Because I don't see that panning out well for them.
PS3.
I mean, can I say something really quick though?
Sure.
All consoles eventually drop in price. Is essentially what it comes down to.
Absolutely.
So
I
buying a console day one isn't really good unless you're positive that the games within the first month are going to be worth it.
Well, that's up to the
That is up to the consumer.
yeah, but now it's up to the distributors to see how many people feel that way.
Yeah.
I just have to say,
Uh,
before I'm gonna have to talk over you guys.
Yeah.
So, the other thing, it's honestly Nintendo really did wipe the floor. Breath of the Wild DLC is something I think that was a little bit underlooked, that
Yeah.
excited me, honestly, more than it should have. Basically, hard mode is what's being proposed, as well as just additional content, the same way actual DLC in a non-Nintendo game. So that's really exciting. The mainline Pokemon is just rumors, so I can't really put that.
No,
on
no,
the
they
list.
said it.
They confirmed it.
Well,
They
yes.
said new Pokemon game.
New
Yeah.
Pokemon Core RPG.
right, but we don't know specifics just yet,
Sure.
so it's murky. So I can't look forward to a ghost, so to speak. And then, if I had to say a number 3, it'd probably be Metroid: Samus Returns.
Ooh,
I'm excited
enough.
for it.
I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Any reason that over Prime?
Mm,
I mean, Metroid. 2.
everyone's going to be talking about Prime, and I think there's. I just want to be able to revisit Metroid from every angle. Prime 4 almost it goes without saying how much excitement there was over that. So maybe it's not fair for me to say I'm not excited. I just kind of am putting them together.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I see what you mean. For
I was gonna
me-
add something on to the Scorpio thing.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
PS3 was originally priced at $500, and look how much Xbox 360 sold
Yeah.
compared to the PS3. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, that's fair.
For me, I think my list is, to be honest, I mean, Mario Odyssey was cool. It's just I'm not a big 3D Mario guy in general. I was much more excited for Metroid Prime 4, just the idea because we've been waiting for a while for it. But in a list format, I'd probably place Metroid Prime 4 at the top, even though we haven't seen much of it. But this is all subject to change too, because I want to see some gameplay for it. But that IP, Metroid Prime 4 at the top, probably not Mario Odyssey, not the Samus Returns remake. I really only have two, to be honest. That and the confirmed Pokemon game, and that's really it. And like we said, it's just confirmed at this point.
I'm not. The
Your
thing is,
placeholder number 3 can be the Skyrim Switch port.
No,
which I'm buying.
You can't just reject. You only offered 2.
no.
I'm going to buy the Skyrim Switch port.
Yeah, I had
I
a talk
can't-
with Evan about this. I mean, the argument's been made 100 times on the internet. It's been ported way too many times. What is Todd Howard trying to make the next Minecraft? But this is different because it's
Oh my
mobile. I get it. No. I get both sides. So I'm not gonna fault you for that. Phil.
No, I just love the Elder Scrolls so much.
I mean, and that's why they're gonna keep making it because, like,
People
I don't
like me.
I honestly, if I don't get why people are. I mean, I see why people are complaining that Skyrim is coming out again, but if it continuously makes money for Bethesda, I would keep doing it. Heck, go ahead, Bethesda. Keep pouring in that shit. If it keeps
It's
making you money.
literally Elder Scrolls and Fallout. They'll make a shit ton of money no matter what they put out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much.
Kind of like Nintendo,
Well-
right?
I mean, Nintendo
Yeah.
has more IPs to work with, but
Well, the difference is that Nintendo's gonna make a shit ton of money this year because of a few genius decisions.
Switch.
Yeah, they're not just recycling and reusing. It's cool that Todd Howard and Bethesda are being economical. If there is a Fallout anything port to the Switch, that would be fascinating.
Can I talk?
I-
All right, since we're on the subject of Bethesda, did anybody see Skyrim VR and how awful that looked?
It was
Oh.
Fallout VR, right?
No, they showed. I know they showed off Skyrim VR, and it looked.
No, they didn't show Skyrim VR. Because I stayed up to watch that with my boy Fernando.
All right, whichever one it looked fucking awful.
Here's the thing. The thing with VR, like, this is what I was worried about, that they're half-assing shit. Like, they're all... You can't take a game like Skyrim or any game that was built for, like, a television and just port a VR version.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the same thing with Doom. Some people are like, Doom is awesome. And I'm just like, I'm sure it probably is kind of cool on VR, but if I'm going to invest $300+ into virtual reality, I want an experience that was built from the ground up and invested in for VR. Like,
And
I don't
there-
want to buy a
There
port.
is stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't think there's that killer app yet. I think there's a good...
So what I pay attention to Rooster Teeth a lot, and what they constantly praise is Job Simulator and the Rick and Morty game.
okay.
What the
'Cause-
phone game?
No, for VR.
For
Oh.
VR.
Huh? I didn't know they were making a Rick and Morty VR game.
It
It's
already
not
came
called
out.
Rick and Morty, but I do remember vaguely what you're talking about. And yeah, there is some. I mean, that's probably gonna stick with a couple of people, just like the South Park. That was not. I think there was a little bit of the South Park RPG at E3, but nothing really substantial.
Yeah.
Fractured Butthole.
The Fractured But Whole.
Yeah.
Yes. So yeah, it's that built an audience clearly. So the Rick and Morty VR, I think that's gonna stick. I don't know. I really wish I could say I know where Oculus is headed, because they seem to be a little bit ahead of the curve in relation to Vive. The only really good VR experience I've had is with a game called Keep Talking and No One Explodes.
Actually,
Oh, boy.
really good.
No body explodes. the bomb defusal game. I think some viewers are going to be familiar with that one.
Me and Phil played that.
You're talking to
Yeah.
the Defusal Master.
I saw you guys pretending you knew what you were doing.
I knew what I was doing.
I don't know. I
Listen.
don't know if Phil knew what he was doing. I knew what I was
It's
doing.
okay. This is a safe space. No blame. No blame
This
zone.
is a safe space.
So I don't know. With that in mind, I agree. Fallout VR is not really palatable.
I don't think it's a good game for VR.
Yeah, I guess that's the point. Oh, yeah, that's the point I was trying to make. I would have gotten more immersion out of like an arcade cabinet, like the way I used to do with Scott and Christian when we were you get what you know what I'm getting
I
at,
know.
though.
I know what you're getting at.
You're laughing at
I
me,
am
but-
laughing. It's funny.
But we are on the same. Yeah. Like, man, those arcade cabinets with the little plastic cheap guns. Those are fun, and it really feels like you're in the setting.
Your boy
As
Time
silly as it
Crisis.
is.
I mean, yeah. And this is why I honestly, people don't hear me say this a lot, but I do prefer going to arcades rather than playing actual games at home, just because of that factor. Like, there's really nothing. I'm gonna sound like a fucking psychopath saying this. There's nothing.
No.
There's nothing better than feeling a plastic gun in your hand and shooting at something like a zombie.
You know, you're not a psychopath, but what you are is someone from Jersey.
Yeah.
Because these guys don't understand when you put like New Jersey and gun in the same sentence, you just get a whole group of scared people.
You do get you get a lot of very scared people.
So
But
people from the other parts of the U.S. might not understand that. I just want to contextualize.
yeah.
Well, it's New Jersey, so whenever Scott's fighting, he's
So
gonna take off his
so
shirt.
listen. Like whenever you go to an arcade, like that's why I honestly prefer it. It's true. I mean, the graphics are shit. Like the Sega Model 3 is fucking garbage. Like I'm gonna be completely honest with you. That is
Time
garbage.
Crisis is no graphical masterpiece.
It's not. It's not. But
But
it's enough. It's good enough, and it's fun. That's what matters. Like it looks okay.
It's
But
like
the
in between a
the gun
64
but
and a
listen, the
GameCube.
gunplay and the gunplay is where it's at, and it's really all about. But that's about all I can say about it.
Yeah. You said it was fun and that it was something else, but I do completely. I get what you mean. I was trying to play off your words, but
Like when we went to that arcade and I played Initial D. Like you didn't see me get up out of the cabinet for a while. I was like, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
There's clearly nothing better than that like physical stimuli and then blaring Eurobeat in your ears. Okay,
There's
there's nothing better.
Playing Europe.
Evan would have loved it. Rest his soul.
Rest in peace.
Oh my gosh. But like that's what VR needs to work with. They need to go back to the drawing board and try and recreate that experience.
Yeah.
That's what I'm calling for. I want the next generation of Oculus to be virtual arcade cabinet. Like not literally, but I want it to
No,
capture
literally.
that. Yes, literally. That's what Scott's petitioning for. I'm just petitioning for them to be able to capture that feeling in a reasonable way and for people who don't know, obviously the technical specs are really pretty crazy. You need
Really running any VR game like on a PC.
Exactly,
You've
for
gotta
VR.
have a state of the art rig,
What-
guys. You've top
pretty
of the
much.
line.
What you need is specifically what you need. Because if you think of the VR goggles that we have now, they're probably going to evolve over time.
Oh, they're
But
definitely.
what
gonna
we are
change.
right now, like each lens for your eye is a different monitor. Just think of it like that. And each monitor is going to be at least 1080p, if not higher. So, and you also need to be running at least 90 frames per second, or else things get a little bit jaggy. There's a physical and sensory disconnect that's really. I'd like to go into it more. It's really interesting, but the point is that you need to be able to run at least two 1080p monitors at 90 frames per second. You need that kind of power to run a VR game, but that's enough power. That's not enough power to render Skyrim effectively.
Yeah.
That's not enough power to render Fallout 4 in a better experience than the original. This is maybe a Tomb Raider game. This is, I mean, God forbid, Time Crisis 4. I would have a heart attack and I would cry tears of joy. Something like that. I don't know, like a Terminator. Platinum Games, I think, would be amazing to commission for like one of these V-arcade is what I'll call it.
I mean,
as cheesy as that sounds. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you mean. Essentially,
I went off a little bit.
no,
there,
no,
but
you're right. Essentially, you need a really powerful rig to do this. But the reason why we're not at a point where we can do this effectively is because all that power is essentially going to what you have to see and see it correctly. And so people are immediately going like balls deep and saying, all right, let's get our most popular games and immediately port them over so we can give this a try.
Yeah,
Which is
people think
okay from a
sorry to cut you off.
it's okay from a money standpoint because people love those games and a lot of people will be like, yeah, I already have a ton of money. I bought the VR shit. I want to play something that I know I'm going to have fun with. So they buy this. And then they get angry because it's essentially a watered down version of what they had, but at, $60 again.
Yeah, it's watered down, and I could go on about this for hours. It's too complex to port a controller-based game that uses so many different tactile interfaces with like each individual button. Using a controller with a VR headset is
not immersive. It's not.
No.
We're on exactly the same page. Thank you, Scott.
I got you.
Like, yeah. There was an Until Dawn. It was like this horror game for the PS4. It got really good reception, but it kind of faded out of the view.
Yeah.
And it had a, you could call it a spin-off for VR. It was PSVR, which is PlayStation associated with Oculus or Vive? I forget.
I think it's
I thought
Oculus.
they were themselves.
It's Oculus.
I think it's Oculus.
Yeah, okay. That sounds about right. So Oculus had a VR experience with Until Dawn spinoff, and that one is still arcadey. That one, instead of like an arcade cabinet with the plastic guns, I would analog that to like, you know how you get in one of those shaky buses and it's supposed to be like a horror roller coaster ride?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
It's the ones at Funplex specifically. I think that's a Jersey thing.
It is.
That takes me back, but I think people understand what I'm trying to say. That is the kind of feeling they captured with Until Dawn Rise of Blood, I believe it was called. Tides of Blood, something to that effect. And that's why that's what you need. The arcade, not The Witcher.
I love that, Jordan.
I would make it a thing if I could just like
The arcade.
Yeah, man, put me on Kind of Funny or like IGN or something, so that I can make this an actual phrase that people start saying.
They'll just steal it.
No, I don't care. I just
gotta patent it. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, put a freaking trademark on VRcade. That's what they need to do. They cannot port Witcher 3 just because it's capable of running 4K 90 FPS. They cannot port that into Oculus. It's not a pleasant experience. The best you could get, like I said, was like probably one of those Tomb Raider Xbox games that might work. I mean, even that's questionable.
It is very questionable.
You need to completely distance yourself from the controller input and really have the strength of mind, the force of will, the innovation to dream up something that's built with a different interface in mind.
Yeah.
And a different experience in mind. And that's what VRcade is all about. And if it launches, it will change the industry.
It will. Because right now, if you're using a controller for VR, it's essentially just wearing 3D goggles.
Yeah. I had that when I was a kid. when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old, I had like this snowboarding. They're these cheesy goggles. They probably cost like $40, and I stood on like a snowboard with foot click-ins. Probably cost another $40, and it
Oh
was
my
like
god.
it was awful.
Yeah.
but
It's
it
essentially it's a more modern version of that.
that's yeah. More modern versions of that is what they need to build towards.
Yeah.
That's
I'd
all
like
I'm saying.
to talk about the Resident Evil
Oh,
7.
Go
Yeah.
ahead. I've said more than enough.
Yes, you use a controller, but I haven't personally played it. But what people have been saying, it's fucking worse than playing just regular fucking Resident Evil 7.
Like worse in a good way or worse like it's actually shit.
No, like
What do you
when
mean
I say,
worse?
I mean worse in a good way.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I could see it working. I could see it working for Resident Evil, but even then, there's the graphical.
thing
There's the trade-off with resolutions and stuff like that.
The thing is, for stuff like that, you can't look away at that point. You can't be like, oh shit, I'm not gonna look at the TV. That
shit.
thing's wrapped around your fucking head, and you're just like, it's
Oh.
still here.
That's essentially real life for you at that point. But
That's pretty cool for the implications for horror games.
Yeah, isn't Until Dawn horror?
It absolutely is.
I couldn't remember if that was the one I was thinking of.
but
I
fucking.
think the implications for horror games in VR will be fucking amazing.
I think in the future horror will
Fair point.
be good, but I want to talk about something
I think
that's going to be even more horrific for Phil.
that segue.
The fact that he has to play F-Zero on an SNES Classic.
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I'm glad we got here.
We made it to our final destination? Question
Thank you.
mark?
Thank you for moving that along. I never would have made it. I swear.
I was
to God.
watching the time the entire time, so don't worry.
Yeah,
Um,
I would have
I like to throw this out there. I have a Super Nintendo and I own F-Zero for the Super Nintendo.
All right, then there's your F-Zero game.
Oh, there you go. You
No,
know,
no.
you know, you don't even need to be a part of this
But
conversation. man.
but to continue, Super Nintendo Classic Edition is going to be $80, available September 29, 2017.
Wait. You said available.
Available. Stop memeing. Stop.
Fernando, stop.
If you get, all right, how's this? If you can get your hands on it, it'll cost you $80.
There you go.
There you go.
All right.
Okay. Let me get some quick opinions out this way. Maybe
Yeah.
this gives me some hope on F-Zero, but the games that come on this are already hard to get. Earthbound is $150. I seen a copy at Disc Replay.
I have seen that copy as well. Like that matters,
And-
but.
Yeah, and what are the rest of the games on it?
So Super Ghouls and Ghosts, which I really like. Yoshi's Island, which I also really like.
Yoshi's Island.
Yeah, Yoshi's Island. The true Mario sequel. Mega Man X, I also really enjoyed. So
Oh hell, that's a good one.
yeah, I love Mega Man, dude.
Wait. Super Metroid. Oh, Secret of Mana. Boy, that's my game.
That's an underrated one, yeah, for sure.
That's such a good game. Super Mario RPG.
Oh, I just saw Kirby's Dream Quest on here. Now I need to buy it.
Kirby Superstar. Wait, is Kirby Superstar? On
We're
it?
looking at you, Lucy. We see
is,
two
it is.
Kirby games right here.
SNES Classic. Okay.
You know what
Hey.
I'm gonna do?
Super Punch Out. Final Fantasy 3. All right. Yes. This thing's great already.
Of course it is. What do you gonna do,
Honestly, the
Fernando?
lineup is stellar. It's
All right.
superb.
So I have that game.
I do
that
want to
game.
mention.
What do you want to mention?
I want to mention the lineup is stellar, and I think it's really hard to disagree with that. The criticism people have been leveling is it's fewer games than the NES Classic, but honestly, this is
These games take up
quality
more
over
space.
quantity.
Yeah.
I
don't
mean,
think the space matters.
listen-
I think-
listen.
I
The
think
Alien Wars, such a good game.
Listen
too.
to me. We could talk about the great SNES classics right now, but the thing that
For sure.
really, that I really kind of want to talk about, because Star Fox 2.
Yeah.
I'm not a big
yeah.
listen.
Star
I
Fox
listen.
2.
Listen.
We need to talk
I
about
know
that.
a lot of people like Star Fox, and that's fine. I like Star Fox too. I know you know what I mean. But it's not something that I don't think if Star Fox 2 is released on here, I feel it's going to get less than stellar reviews because
It's an old game.
not just because it's an old game. A lot of the mechanics from what I've been seeing from Star Fox 1 won't necessarily hold up today because there are easier ways to do things. And
No way it will
and
hold up.
here are my two big complaints. It won't hold up in the mechanics. And two, if Nintendo goes in and tries to adjust these things, it's gonna not be an authentic Star Fox 2 experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think it was ever an issue of, from the consumer standpoint, of wanting, like, 64 tier, assault tier, command tier mechanics, because this to me is a huge, like a love letter almost to the collectors. I don't know. I don't want to call him out like, super personally, but I don't know. Do you remember Andrew Scott? He collected a lot of consoles.
Andrew.
Andrew, I know who you're talking
Anyway,
about.
Yes,
so
I do.
There's this guy we know who collects, who had a huge hobby out of collecting classic consoles. He never got to experience Star Fox 2 without emulation because for so long it's been locked away in Japan, and even in Japan they they had to rush it past beta, and it really barely made it with that audience.
Yeah.
So collectors are going to appreciate this, in my opinion, or in my like educated guess. I think they're going to appreciate this hugely. And I'm going to appreciate just going back and seeing this piece of history, because I have a lot of Star Fox games that I love. I loved Assault, obviously 64, and
I
then
liked Assault
there's
as
like,
well.
and then there's Zero and Command, which I think are criminally underrated.
Wait, is Command the one for the GameCube?
Command is for the DS.
DS,
Assault
alright.
is for the GameCube.
All right,
Assault
Assault.
is
I liked
really
Assault.
Yeah,
I also played the one for the DS as well, but I didn't really get that into it.
yeah, that's Command.
Star Fox temperatures.
Adventures, I mean, I'm not going to make the "we don't talk about it" joke. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. And it wasn't Star Fox. It didn't feel the same. So I kind of don't put it in the same category, even though it was a decent game.
This is also an interesting thing because a lot of well, not all. Well, yeah, a portion of our viewers are younger than us, so they probably haven't experienced these games before. And we, like, even me saying this, we personally may not have experienced all these games too. This shows how old that we are.
Yeah, we didn't exactly experience Star
like,
Fox 64. On
So
release.
I wasn't I wasn't old enough to really understand Yoshi's Island. I wasn't old enough, certainly not old enough to understand Earthbound, for the love of God.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I could understand Super Mario World and The Legend of Zelda perfectly fine.
I'm
But
throw this out there.
games that are, you know, a little bit more complex in story, maybe Super Mario RPG, Final Fantasy 3, even Ghouls and Ghosts, because of the difficulty,
That's a hard ass fucking game.
might be a little, you know what I mean, right?
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Super Ghouls and
I
Ghosts.
kind of know what you mean. Are you talking about accessibility?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I personally.
It's going to be easier.
access to-
It's going to be easier for them to get a hold of these games and try them out. And plus, it's not going to break the bank as if you were to buy an actual SNES and then go out and hunt these games individually. Because Earthbound alone costs you $150. Secrets
Yeah,
of
that
Mana,
would
I'm
be-
not sure of the price.
I have
You want to
access
know something?
10 of these games.
You want to know something? Actually, like I
I
thought,
have 10 of these.
I've been hearing you guys talk, and I've thought about this all. I'm a big, I mean, maybe not a big collector, but I'm all about collecting classic shit. And just recently, I've been thinking of now, because I've been just saving up money, I've been thinking of buying SNES, been thinking about buying a bunch of retro games. But honestly, as I hear you guys talk, I genuinely been thinking to myself, like, man, this is actually perfect. Like, this is definitely for a collector that doesn't want to break the bank, that he doesn't want to go out, buy an SNES, and then buy a bunch of cartridges that are already annoying to get, especially because the prices for half of them are super high.
Yeah.
now that I really sit down and think about it, this is for someone like me who loves Nintendo and has never really gotten a hold or never got to play like a lot of classic games, specifically Super Metroid. So like this, as I really think about it, I actually am gonna go out and buy this. But then this also makes me think to myself, man, if I'm gonna go buy this, man, I really wish I could have bought an NES Classic. And that's my biggest fear here is that I'm not gonna be able to get this thing because. And I'm sorry if I'm segueing out. I don't mean to, but
All right.
you know,
I'm gonna pose a question once you're done.
Yeah, but I was just gonna finish off saying like I didn't want an NES Classic at the time, but now that I think about it, like I'm like, oh, you know what, an NES Classic would be something that'd be perfect for me. But now I can't get it because it's pretty much done, and they're going on eBay for like 150. You know,
Oh yeah.
sucks. And Nintendo did say they're gonna make more of this, but I think that's something we definitely need to at least talk about or mention that this is something that will probably be hard to get. You know, so
Here is. Were you done?
yeah, I'm done.
So, here's my final question that I'm going to pose to you guys. There's gonna be no rapid review because we've already taken a lot of time. Who would you recommend this console? What are the reasons you would recommend the?
That's pretty.
What
So,
the
yeah.
fuck?
So how did you resuscitate?
I don't know, and this is really
I
weird.
don't.
I'm gonna continue talking about my like I don't think like if
don't
I
like
could
this.
take one console to a desert island and pretty much have its library, it'd be the fucking Super Nintendo.
That's a good analogy.
Cause like I distinctly remember in my childhood not even knowing that it was Mega Man X that I went back and played Mega Man X and I was like, shit, this was the game I was playing.
Was Mega Man X? Does it really hold up?
Oh yes, it does actually.
All right, okay. I think
I'll
we're
give it a shot.
back in business now.
I can confirm we're back.
All right.
Thank you for being such a patient host and getting everything back online.
Thank you for sticking with us to this, guys. To try and pick up.
Yeah.
You want to
Our
go an
loyal
extra?
viewers.
Do you want to go like an extra 10 minutes, maybe?
I was gonna say we can go till at least 9:15.
Yeah.
And
No,
after
I mean,
that, however you're comfortable.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just gonna be you guys talking in my love poem to the Super Nintendo.
Okay, so
I was gonna say.
all right, so
before
before we got cut off, we were talking about who you would recommend the Super NES the SNES Classic you would recommend it to.
yeah.
Phil stated who he'd recommend it to. I stated who would recommend it to. Jordan, who would you recommend it to?
I can change mine to everyone I know.
Jordan, who would you recommend it to?
Well, his praise beat mine. I didn't realize it was a contest, but I'd recommend it to anyone who's met me who isn't repulsed by pre-64-bit gaming. There's so much here that's just, besides being gaming history, if it's not your personal nostalgia, that doesn't really have anything to do with it. Super Mario RPG holds up so well. Kirby's Dream Course is like a snack food game. It's fun. Star Fox 2, people have been begging for this thing to be
Released
to
in the
have
US?
some kind of Western release.
Yeah.
Anywhere outside of Japan. Not just even Australians have been begging for this game for years now.
Yeah.
So this is honestly, when I heard the news, it was incredible. Final Fantasy 3 is not a great game, but if you want to,
it's Final Fantasy 6.
I knew you were
Well,
gonna.
I
I knew you were gonna
guess
say that
game-
shit. I knew you were gonna say that shit. Just continue, Jordan.
Okay,
It's literally 6 and 7.
I get it. I get it.
that's a good meme.
I get it.
Kirby Superstar is so good that I actually was playing it earlier this week on my DS. So yeah, I don't. This is something that should be bought by gamers, not just collectors. I guess that's my takeaway.
Fair enough. Fernando?
I recommend it for someone like me who has
Who
wanted.
has
Hmm?
Who has what?
for someone who has always been a collector at heart, but has never been the guy that just spend money on that hobby. And this is a good middle ground. Like, yeah, I might not have an actual SNES, but these are some games that still hold the test of time that I've been wanting to actually physically own, not rent, not stream. I want to own these games, and I could go on eBay and buy an SNES, and I can buy the cartridges, or I can emulate, but that's a different story.
I'd
Or
like to say. No, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say this is a good middle ground. This is something that honestly is for me. I feel like I'm a little late to the party because NES the classic is gone, and now that I think about it, I really want that. But at least there's this, and I could always try and get this, Or low key, I can get both and sell one online for $300.
Get
and
away
buy
from the
an NES
mic.
Classic.
Get away
That's
from the
pretty
mic.
funny. Yeah, watch the audio.
Sorry.
I have something
Was it?
to say that's not really important, but I think it's pretty interesting. As far as the discussion, because so basically, I don't know if you guys remember, but in Super Smash Brothers Brawl, there were little short demos for NES games based on the characters that you could go through.
Was that like the fucking thing you could
I
do in
think you have
Animal?
to unlock them.
Isn't that like the thing in Animal Crossing where you could use the e-reader and you could play like the original, the OG Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong?
Maybe.
Yes, there was things like that in Animal Crossing for the GameCube,
Okay.
but I don't think it was e-reader.
I know you had. I know you could only get Legend of Zelda through e-reader.
Interesting. I not familiar enough with Animal Crossing. I only know the Brawl. So it was just Zelda and a couple of other games, or
It was a lot of classic Nintendo games.
a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they had Donkey Kong, obviously Zelda, Super, original Mario, original Metroid, original Ice Climber. I was looking specifically on the NES Classic while we were booting ourselves back up for Ice Climber and Kid Icarus. Because if those weren't on the list, I would have been really confused. Also, I think so, like I said, the NES Classic had more games. They had 9 more games. They had a total of 30. The SNES Classic had a total of 21, but in my opinion, they're much more solid games
Yeah.
Definitely.
on average. Because like you have Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest on NES Classic. That is a game that does not hold up remotely well. If you want to watch Ego Raptor's video on it, it's really funny.
That and AVGN, dude. He revisited
Yeah.
it. He did it twice.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those guys have more than enough to say about
Yeah.
it. Bubble Bobble is a game that I have a bit of nostalgia. I watched some Let's Plays of it. That was kind of fun. That's pretty much all I have to say about the NES.
Same.
But I will be buying one. I will definitely buy it. Now that I really sit down and think about it, this is something I'll buy.
I
With the
wonder if this will. Okay, no, this is definitely gonna lose its main stock before these switch. So I intend to get one of these as well.
if I can find one, I'll probably get one, but I'm not sure. Going back to kind of running low on time, but is there anything else? I think we covered just about everything right now.
I mean, Metroid's back. Super Nintendo is back. Like, what a
Nintendo
world we
in
live
general-
in.
Nintendo in general is back with a vengeance. That's all I can say.
Hopefully they stay that way.
Hopefully they carry the momentum into the holiday season. They have enough going for the first half of the first business quarter, because that's how they measure it, of 2018. So all I know is that they have the next 9 months pretty much in the bag. After that, I'm excited to see what they have next.
They had this year on lock. I mean,
Yeah.
All
no
right.
doubt.
Now that we know, since we know Nintendo has Unlock, that's pretty much really all we're excited for right now. I'm gonna start wrapping it up. Turn your fan off. Um,
Oh, sorry.
I'm gonna start wrapping
I'm
it
just
up.
moving it.
So, thanks for coming out, guys. We're gonna do this every Monday, hopefully at 8 p.m. from this point forward. The cast will change around. For instance, one day I might not be here, or Phil might not be here.
I won't be here any Monday from here on
Yeah,
out.
it's going to essentially be the same when it
Mhm.
comes to cast. The cast changes, but
The rotating table.
the rotating table. But for the most part, the podcast will be coming at you consistently every Monday at around 8 o'clock p.m. Um,
I like this
Eastern.
plan.
I do
Eastern time.
Eastern
It is
time.
Eastern time.
I don't know what it is PST.
3 hours.
3 hours later,
over
so
here. It's 5
5.
PST.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Fuck.
Sorry.
If you enjoyed what you saw here, follow us on Twitch, like us on Facebook. I'll post a link to the Discord at the end of this. Check out the YouTube. This is where this will be going. I'll have to upload. I'll find both parts to use for this podcast, and I'll upload them both, and then I can go back and edit them or whatever, and make
If the
them one
audio's
video.
fine,
I think the
I can
audio.
upload.
Well, thank you, Jordan. We do have a Twitter as well, so if you want to follow us there, check that out.
I think most of us have our individual Twitters also.
Yeah, if you want to follow these nerds, but that's up to them to post it in the Discord or in the chat. Above all else, guys, that was episode 10. If you enjoyed, follow us on Twitch. Yeah. I'm probably gonna play a game after this around 9:30. Just give myself a little break. But above all else, guys, have a good night. Take it easy and peace.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
See ya.
Love you.